Amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, depleted fiscal resources, badly damaged agricultural infrastructure, declining agricultural production and output, coupled with the challenge of maintaining food security in wake of climate change, the PPPC government on August 2, 2020, moved aggressively to strengthen the country's then ailing agricultural sector. Of paramount importance was the resuscitation of the country's traditional and non-traditional productive sectors to increase viability and food security, promote a diversified economy, and create more jobs and expand income while implementing measures to mitigate the impact of flooding. During the first year, the nation's food industry developed significantly and now boasts massive potential when compared to the 5 years of limited to no developments under the previous government. A sum of $18.4 billion was allocated to the Ministry of Agriculture in the 2020 emergency budget. The following year, the agriculture sector benefited from a $22.6 billion allocation, which set the path for continued development of a number of futuristic and transformative projects. Reversal of land rental and D&I charges to their original rates, removal of VAT on machinery, equipment, fertilizers, and pesticides. The poultry industry was zero-rated with the removal of VAT on key inputs. Establishment of coconut nurseries at Kairuni on the Soesdijk Highway and Charity Region 2 valued $10 million. Expansion of the Hope Coconut Industry Limited. Repairs and procurement of drainage and irrigation pumps across the country. Restoration of drainage and irrigation in over 114,196 acres of farmland in Region 5 using 2 newly procured long-reach excavators valued $76 million, $100 million capital works at MMA, one of Guyana's largest rice-producing areas, $500 million 18-kilometer main access road at Ichuni-Takama Region 10 to initiate the corn and soybean project, $7.8 billion in flood relief to farmers who suffered losses during the 2021 May-June flooding, completion of a seed paddy facility at less beholden Blackbush Polder, Quarantine, certification of the Guyana Livestock Development Authority Veterinary Laboratory by the Guyana National Bureau of Standards to meet international standards, a newly commissioned $60.4 million fertilizer testing laboratory. With drainage and irrigation being one of the most important pillars of the agriculture sector, massive investments were made to address the deficiencies in drainage and water system to prevent flooding and improve agriculture production.
Farmers in other areas now are looking forward for us to construct those canals, those Hope-like canals, and a number of those canals, not only one will construct like Hope, but a number of those canals will be constructed across the country. Almost $500 million will be expended to do those canals.
These small but significant interventions by the authority brought immediate relief to scores of residents and farmers across Guyana.
The government or whoever cleaned the trench and have the place dry out nice. I can't make no complaint. I'm thankful for that he cleaned the trench.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars we lost, right? But I'm glad to the government now that can do something to help us.
Situation before real bad. This section we there over there. You go the tube in small, the water got to pass one. Then you go crossing, they are poorly maintained. So the minister promised that they go see, look into the tube and put a bigger tube in and clean the crossing. And the part they clear, real clear good.
We'll be purchasing almost 40 new pumps to bring into the country because, as you know, sometimes when you drain through the sluice, you have to drain on a tidal basis. But when you have pumps, the pump can supplement the sluice and you can have 24-hour draining because of the high intensity of rainfall. So I'm hoping that in another 3 to 4 years we can mitigate floods a lot in our country.
The administration continues to implement policies and programs to promote climate resilient and sustainable production of fruits and vegetables locally. This effort is to ensure the country's economy is diversified and food security is maintained. The National Agricultural Research and Extension Institute, NARI, has received another $1.27 billion this year, which will further diversify Guyana's production base and ensure food security.
I will ensure that NARI provide a number of seed free of cost
A number of plants free of cost. All the Acusians bait free of cost.
Farmers continue to benefit from the National Fogging Program, the Fertilizer Distribution Program, and the $335 million Farm Implement Program, which was launched in Regions 1, 8, and 9. Along with restarting these critical programs for small and medium-scale farmers, the government is also advancing the Intermediate Savanna Development Initiatives, a special project aimed at developing the corn and soybean industries in Guyana.
We normally in Guyana import roughly about $50 million annually in corn and soya. And if we want to develop the poultry industry, we are self-sufficient already. We have produced all the poultry needs for our country. Now we have to produce to export. The last crop we have had 3 tons per hectare. This year we'll increase that to 3,000 acres. And in another 3 years we want to increase that to 25,000 acres. 2 times per year will make us self-sufficient in producing our own corn and soya so that we can get the proteins for the livestock industry.
Recognizing the growing markets of high-value produce, coupled with the need to provide employment opportunities, particularly for young people trained in agriculture science, a sum of $100 million was allocated to push the first ever Agriculture and Innovation Entrepreneurship Program. President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali launched the flagship initiative on January 12 at the Arthur Chung Conference Center. The initiative focuses primarily on cultivating 3 high-value crops: carrot, broccoli, and cauliflower.
You will be all shareholders of the company. You will all manage the company. It requires capital. So we are looking to start with 25 sharehouses.
Guyana's coconut industry has seen massive expansion in cultivation and production, with decentralized and strengthened services to farmers, and the establishment of 3 additional nurseries at Hosororo, Fort Wellington, and Lethem. This year, the Hope Coconut Estate Limited received $66 million. The Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali-led government remains adamant that rice is the government's business, and it will continue to work to see the industry flourish. Over $320 million was injected into the rice sector to help with expanding cultivation and production, including more value-added varieties and products. The investment this year has seen improved drainage and irrigation to mitigate losses and expanded research on new high-yielding varieties and seed production. The Guyana Rice Development Board will soon equip its soil and value-added laboratories that were completed last year with the necessary tools. The facilities value $12.1 million and $21.3 million respectively.
This is farming is private business. Be so thankful that, machinery do the work. Things which they could not have done in 5 years. I see this administration did it in 1 day in this village.
Rice farmers across Guyana continue to enjoy the low charges on land and the removal of VAT on machinery and other agriculture inputs. More than $743.7 million was allocated to advance the fisheries and aquaculture subsectors and ensure continued development of the industry this year. The administration was successfully able to implement several innovative measures in the sector, especially to cushion the efforts of the worldwide issue of low fish catches. One such project is the major brackish wort shrimp production along the Perhentian Coast, Region 6. The production is a major contributor to food security.
It's so good because everybody that comes here, they call me, they want shrimps to buy, They come in, they buy, or they take it to the market, and they make good money on it. Shrimps on the whole, people want shrimps. It's not something that people don't say, okay, no, I don't want shrimps today, but it's a thing that the whole world needs.
For me, I've never done this before, right? I'm doing it because of their assistance and their help. And after this, I would know exactly
you know, how to proceed and to expand. Right? Right now, we have shrimp in here, and I'm positively sure that we're going to do good because I've seen a lot of fingerlings came in.
This initiative by government, this new initiative of semi-intensive agriculture, where we are, would multiply our production tenfold, I dare say 20-fold. Because we used to farm this entire 226 acres where we are at Plantation Bowlam, and we used to do it in 2 halves. The turnaround time to clean the ponds, to get all the predators out, was very long. But with initiative by government's clearing of the sandbank by the pontoon, digging the outfall drains, digging the drainage system, helping us with tubings, have seen our production in this particular farm multiply 4 times. Right now we have 4 ponds completed, and we still have, I think it would be 10 more to complete under this first phase of development into the semi-intensive system.
Government will continue the momentum of expanding the fisheries industry. A total of $200 million was committed to initiate the culture to develop marine cage in Guyana. This is expected to benefit over 135 persons, inclusive of hinterland communities, fish farmers, and particularly fishermen who are seeking alternative means of earning.
When we examine the numbers, each one of those marine cages can bring in a net value of close to $8 million annually. And you can pay back for the investment within 6 months. So that we're not sitting back. We have a responsibility to find solutions, and that is what we're doing. We're working every single day on finding innovative solutions.
The Guyana Livestock Development Authority was able to import new poultry genetics at a cost of $15 million. In the decentralization process of the National Swine Artificial Insemination Program, 21 swine farmers benefited from piglets to improve their breeding stock. This is a $1.8 million investment being made by the government, which has seen the GLDA collaborating with farmers to improve the swine sector's breeding and meat production capacities. Construction of the modern abattoir to service the swine industry is currently ongoing at Garden of Eden on the east bank of the Marara. To improve the new poultry genetics, under the Black Giant program, 40 farmers from various communities were recipients of 100 Black Giant chickens each for the purpose of breeding and egg production. 100 poultry farmers also became the first batch of beneficiaries to receive 100 Black Giant chickens from government's post-flood intervention activities.
I feel very happy to know the government is doing this for the people, and it will be beneficial for everyone when we get involved in the program and help to feed more people in Guyana.
I think as a citizen in Guyana, every citizen look forward for government to do things for citizens. And it's a good gesture, and we farmers need to be mindful of what we've received and how we can help each other grow whatever it is we in, either livestock or crops.
It's the first time that I have been invited to anything like this, and I'm feeling very proud about it.
The Black Belly Sheep Project was launched by President Ali in Region 5 West Coast, Berbice on March 27. An initial US $3 million will see 1,000 black belly sheep arriving from Barbados shortly.
Region 5 must be the livestock capital of CARICOM. That is the vision. To do that, we have to increase our production. We have to increase our quality. We have to improve our breed. We have to use more advanced technology. We have to invest in infrastructure. And we have to work on building the partnership, all of which are ongoing.
An inaugural Agri-Investment Forum and Expo was opened at the Arthur Young Conference Center from May 1921 and saw a number of regional heads consulting with both the public and private sectors to drive the region's food production system. The forum attracted some 20 international companies. Apart from the global entities, a number of regional and local companies and at least 4 global institutions were also on board. Several bilateral agreements were signed during this event, which will see a number of Caribbean countries moving forward in their quest for regional food security. As Guyana looks to become a bigger agricultural force in the region, the steps being taken by the PPPC government have led to the recovery of the agriculture sector. The policies to spur rapid growth and longer-term development are also in place.